Hi guys, I am here to share about my ayahuasca journey this past weekend. And of course there's some resistance because I don't even know how I'm supposed to put it all into words, but that's not the point. The point is that I'm feeling called to do this, and I've had quite a number of people reach out to me wanting to hear about my experience. And there's a lot of wisdom and a lot of gold that I extracted from the experience. And my goal is to be able to share that in a way that's digestible. And I'm just going to open my mouth and share. So this past week was the most profound week of my entire life. I had an experience 2.5 years ago with another medicine journey, and it broke me the fuck open in a way that I had never been broken open before. And it's interesting because my soul knew what I needed in order to be embodied in my vessel. And the ego gets in the way so much. So it's always those moments of perseverance that you really get what you need, which is why I'm doing this video also. And I'm putting my ego aside so that I can really try to deliver a message here. But so 2.5 years ago, when I had this profound experience, I started meeting my soul family, and I started to purge for a week after the medicine journey. I started to just purge sadness and anger and fear and shame and guilt. And it was the first experience I had with myself where I just held myself as I released all of this trauma from my body, all of these things that were weighing me down, that were keeping me in my head, right? That were keeping me in my head as a woman and not allowing me to feel and not allowing me to be in my body. And so after about a week of 10 years worth of transformation and purging, I had a sleepover with a group of women from all over the world that were, I was definitely the youngest. They were all about 20 to 30 years older than me. And I was 21. And, one's from Ecuador, two are from India, one's from Korea, and I'm from Los Angeles. And it was just so divinely guided. And it was that night that we all had a sleepover that I realized the power of women's circles, the power of sisterhood, the power of women coming together and not competing with each other, but holding this space of radical acceptance and unconditional love for the unfoldment and the healing of one another. And it was the most profound experience of my life. I had a sister hold me as I came back to myself, and I just cried and processed from the depths of my being, and all of a sudden I just came back into my body. And I hadn't gotten my moon cycle in 3 months, and I went into the bathroom and I looked in the mirror, and for the first time I saw myself. I saw me, and I was there. And then I got my moon cycle, and it was the universe is this is, now you can feel. And I remember sitting with that moon cycle, and it was the most sacred moon cycle I had experienced because I was really present with all of the sensations in my body. And instead of labeling it pain, I just recognized that it was a sensation, and that it allowed me to feel alive, and it allowed me to feel my womanhood and my body. And that was the moment that changed my entire life. That was the night, that was the experience that changed my whole life. And it allowed me to align with my mission, which is to hold space for other women to undergo this journey of coming back home to the self and being fully embodied, producing their own ecstasy within themselves by coming back into themselves by feeling, right? Because we need to feel to heal. And that's been my big message over these past 2.5 years, is that the feeling is the healing. And the thing is, we are walking around in a society where we're all stuck in our heads. So we're not feeling. And so we're just cut off from the truth of who we are. And there's a lot, society does to keep that in play, right? To keep us as consumers, to keep us as the sheep, to keep us in this loop, right? So that we don't really know who we truly are, because who we truly are is so fucking powerful. So that was that experience a couple years ago, and since then it's just been profound. And so this past week was like the second initiation. So over the course of the last couple years, I have aligned with my twin flame. He is my divine masculine counterpart. And through our love, we've both experienced the deepest healing. And I truly believe that when you do this work and you align with your twin flame, that love, the magnitude of that love, can heal the world. And in that love, in that divine union, you are healing each other. You are mirrors for each other. You are each other's opposites. As I step into my divine feminine, he steps into his divine masculine, and then we beam that love out into the world, and then we align with our sacred soul mission on this planet. Whew. So, I've aligned with my twin flame. I've started my soul career, and I'm still just getting started working with women. I work with hypnotherapy. I've been in hypnotherapy school for the last year. And so a week ago, my partner Teddy and I went to Arizona. Let me just rewind a little bit. Yeah, it's interesting having a camera in front of my face and trying to capture all of this, but I'm going to do my best. So I had aligned with a soul sister over Instagram, and her and I built a really, really deep connection virtually during the whole pandemic, which I've done with quite a few women. And we were invited to an ayahuasca ceremony. And ayahuasca has been coming up a lot in this past year. And I didn't feel ready, and finally I felt ready. And it was a big fuck yes. I had total divine confirmation to go. And so I've always wanted to go to Sedona. So my partner and I went to Sedona for a couple days, and it was beautiful to just, ground in with the land, go on these hikes, be in the energy of that vortex. We hung out with alpacas, and we went horseback riding, and there was a lot of energetic preparation for this ceremony. And a lot of what was being revealed to me was fear, how much fear I had. I was afraid of a bee. And so later I got slapped in the face by a bee, and then it got caught in my hair, right? Because I had so much fear around it. I attracted the fear, what I feared. And then when we were going horseback riding, I was scared to get on the horse. And so the first horse I got on felt that and marched right back to where we started and would not take me out on her. And I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, like, this is why I'm afraid. And that was my segue into getting on another horse and still going for it, still going. Even though there was fear, meeting fear in the name of love and just knowing that I'm stronger than that fear. And this was just a little foreshadowing. Another moment was when Teddy and I were hiking up Cathedral Rock, and I was scared. I was like, oh my God, what if we fall, and crack our heads open? Like, all of these fears, it was like my mind was catastrophizing the worst thing that could happen, almost like I'm sure a mother would do with her children, because, and I realized it's because I care so much. So I knew that this was kind of preparation for the ceremony, this practice of letting go, of facing the fear. And so the first night we got there, and we all grounded in a little bit before the ceremony. And I was really nervous. There was the fear again, right? And then going into ceremony, I had to just remember that no matter what, I am safe, and I am love, and all is love. And it was this deep surrender, the deepest surrender I've ever experienced into the medicine. And that night I experienced, my partner was a couple people down from me, but I missed him so much, but it wasn't on a human level. It was on another level. And, I was pretty strict with the no sex, so physically I had not actually experienced my partner in close to a week. And so there was that component matched with the fact that I was sitting with this profound medicine and feeling everything so deeply. I already feel things so deeply, so this medicine just made it that much more profound. And I could just feel the depth of my love for him. And then I just started crying out in grief. It felt like grief. I was just crying because of how much I missed him. But it was so real. Like, it was so real. There was no room for my ego to analyze what was going on or to try to cap my feelings. Like, it was so real. And I just felt the depth of my love for this person. And it was profound and it was beautiful. It was so beautiful to be able to feel that deeply and to know that I love him that deeply and accept everything about him that deeply. There are no words, So it first started with that, and then that kind of segued into really feeling my mom and feeling my head against her chest and feeling her skin and her smell and just feeling like my little girl self wrapped in my mommy's arms and like feeling this immense gratitude for her existence, for her as my mother, for her as the incredible human being that she is. I just felt her so deeply. I felt her love for me. I felt her love for the world. I felt the depth of her love, and I just felt it wrapped. I felt myself wrapped in it, and I was just crying. Like, I couldn't stop crying for hours, but it was like a journey of things that were triggering different areas of this emotion. And I was surrendered to all of it, but I was experiencing all of it. And so I felt my mom, and then I felt my mom's pain. I felt my mom's pain. And I felt where she is in her life and how beautiful it'll be when she does this medicine, and how I wished she was there with me, even though I felt her spiritually there with me. And I felt how deep our bond is and that our souls have been together for so long. Me and her and me and Teddy, like, our souls have been together for lifetimes. And it was, I'm going to keep using the word profound because I don't have a better word to describe it. And then I felt my sister. And I felt all the trauma that's there from our relationship growing up, from the competition that we had. She's 2 years younger than me, and there was a lot of competition, and I was super jealous when we were little. I was very egoic, very territorial, and I was in such deep pain as a little girl and as a teenager, and I projected all my pain onto her. And I tried to keep her small. And so for the last 5 years, especially over these last 2.5 years, I have made it my mission to heal our relationship, my relationship with all of my family. When I had that incredible heart-opening experience after the medicine journey a couple years ago, my big download was to heal my family, to heal with my family of origin. So that's what I've been doing. And so this experience with my sister on the medicine just allowed me to feel into the depth of our love for each other, and of all of the things that are unspoken and all of the feelings that have been unfelt and that have just been shoved inside. I felt it for both of us. And it was so deep, and that made me cry. I was just crying for hours. This is just my journey through this whole emotional purge. And so I felt my sister, I felt me holding her, I felt us healing, I felt our spirits just coming together to be in love and to honor each other and acknowledge each other and to just be in the space with each other. And I planted seeds that I would do this medicine with my sister as well. And then I felt my dad. And I felt being a little girl, just being in his office and how I was his everything. And I just felt his skin and his scent and his love, and I felt my little girl self and how much she loved her daddy, and I just felt his love in all of the words that have not been spoken between us as well, and all the feelings that have not been felt, and all of the damage that had been done, and just mending it on this energetic level, and having this download to just sit with him and just hold space. We don't even have to say anything, just to be in that space together and to come back to love, right? Because the ego gets in the way so much, and it judges things, and it analyzes things, and it just strips things of its very essence, right? So I felt all of my family members, and I felt them individually, and I felt them really deeply. And then I felt everyone in the Black community. And I felt the moms that are scared to let their babies go outside because of the dangers and the potential risks, and how excruciating and agonizing that is. And the oppression and the pain, and I really felt what it's like to be a mother and to have this love that is incomparable to anything else. Like, you cannot explain it in words. And it was all the Divine Mother showing me this love, and showing me this compassion, and showing me that we all are love, and that we all want to be loved. And that this is my mission in this life and in this world, is to be love, and to continue to keep my heart open, and to be, in a sense, like the Divine Mother. And she really showed me what that feels like, to have that compassion, and to have that depth of that love, and how it's stronger than anything in the universe. It's the strongest force in the entire universe, and we are all made of it. And just how important it is to forgive and to let ourselves feel. That was my biggest, she just kept saying, the medicine, you have to feel to heal. We have to feel to heal. And so that's part of my mission, is to hold space for people to feel everything, to feel all of it. And it sounds scary, but it is the most liberating thing you can do for yourself. It is the way that you free yourself. You have to go through it. You have to go through it to get to the other side. You have to go through it to truly know who you are and to meet yourself. And so my first night was all about unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion, healing, feeling and healing. And my second night, she came on really strong, and it scared me. And I felt like I couldn't breathe. And I felt like I was suffocating, and I was like, oh my God, please ease up on me. You know, you can talk to her. And I asked her to please ease up on me. And she did. And slowly but surely she started, I mean, there's no way that I can explain the whole experience to you guys, because it happens at the speed of light. Like, there's so much being processed and integrated, and just all of it. You can't explain it. But the parts I can explain are that I was initiated I was initiated, and I was called back to myself in a way that I will never forget. There was one point where a certain song was playing, and I was laying down flat because I just did not feel like I could sit up. You know, it makes you feel pretty sick. So I was laying down flat, and I was like, oh my God, there's no way I can sit up. But I could feel this like intuitive hit to like this intuitive inclination to just start to sit up. And so I started to sit up a little bit, like move my way up the wall. And I was like, there's no way I can do this. I cannot sit all the way up. And I felt the Divine Mother go, yes, you fucking can. Sit up. And so I sat all the way up, and I'm just sitting there, and it's painful and fucking challenging. And I wanted Teddy, I wanted my partner to come and save me. You know, I just wanted to be saved. And then I wanted the shaman to come and save me. But there was something so much bigger than me going, you can do this. You are going to save you. You've got this. You are so much stronger than you let yourself believe. So I sat up, and I started to feel this urge to purge. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. And so I grabbed my bucket, and I start throwing up to this song that's actually called Heart Warriors. I just found that out today. And I started throwing up all of the fucking stories, all of the self-doubt, all the insecurities, all the programming that's kept me from remembering who the fuck I am. And as I'm throwing it up, I'm just kind of like even laughing in disbelief. I'm like, how the fuck could I forget who I am? And I was not upset with myself, but I was throwing all of it up. I was just throwing all of it up, and I was just kind of in disbelief. And that's when I realized I am a warrior. Like, I'm a warrior, and that's part of the divine feminine. We're not these soft, fragile little flowers. We're fucking warriors. We're strong. We birth spirit into matter. We birth spirit through our womb space into this physical plane. And our body undergoes all of that. And that's how strong we are. We bleed once a month. We create life. You know, we're the creators and destroyers of life. That's like Kali, who I feel like came through a lot for me the second time. The archetype of Kali, who's actually the oracle card I pulled today. And she's the creator and destroyer of all life. She cuts through all the bullshit, all of the illusions, all the stories. You know, I want to read this. Kali is as subtle as a sledgehammer. She shows up to strip us of what no longer serves us. And that sounds good in theory, but in practice it can feel as if the ground beneath us is turned to sand. All those illusions about ourselves, especially what we think we are capable of, suddenly dissolve beneath us. When Kali sweeps in, we can easily slip into feeling like a victim. It can feel as though events are happening to us rather than for us. Kali doesn't want us to waste another precious second being someone we are not. She doesn't want us to be with a partner who doesn't treat us with the respect and love we need to do the light work we've come here to do. Kali wants to sever the ties of our ego that our ego has made out of fear or out of the false belief that we don't deserve better or more. She wants us to get terrifyingly real. She wants us to reckon with the fact that we are not here to please others or to make them proud. We are here to listen to the singular call of our own soul. So, that's what we're here to do. We're not here to people please. We're not here to be the martyr. We're not here to doubt ourselves. We're not here to doubt how powerful we are. We are here to claim it and to step into it and to listen to the divine guidance and to know that we are worthy and we are capable, and this is why we are here. We are here to align with our soul and our soul's mission. And yeah, it was an initiation, and my mission is to help as many women claim their inner strength and to really experience what that is and what it is to be walking the path of the warrior goddess. Because this is the path of the warrior goddess, and the warrior goddess is the divine feminine. It's pure strength paired with unconditional love. And so when you have both of them, that is when you are a full woman. I went from being a girl to a woman. I mean, I was a different person when I came out of that experience. It's so many stories have been alchemized. And it's not to say that I won't feel jealousy and I won't compare and stories won't come up, but I can catch them a lot quicker now. I know that I am not here to be comparing myself to other women or to get jealous of other women. That was a big download, is how deep my love is for women. I fucking love women. And I love sisterhood. And I got to experience how deep my soul bond is with my soul sisters, and how many of them I still have to meet. And this is my life's work, is creating a safe space for women to feel this level of love and connection and soul sisterhood with one another. And I believe this is how we're going to heal the world. Ladies, we need to come together. We need to rise together. We need to build each other up. We need to recognize one another's beauties without being intimidated by it. Because seeing another woman in her glory does not take away from ours. It just allows us to have mirrors into our own beauty, into our own capacity to love and to express and to expand. And the more we individually as women liberate and empower ourselves and come into our truest nature and embody that wholeheartedly, the more we empower and inspire other women to do the same. And when we have a world full of women in their power, we've got a fucking healed world. Because what happens is when we're in our power, when we're in that pure strength and unconditional love, we source men into their divine masculine. And this, my friends, is what happened with Mary Magdalene and Jesus Christ. They were the ultimate embodiment of divine masculine and divine feminine coming together in divine union to heal the world. And this is what we are all being initiated into. And yes, it takes some balls, right? It takes courage. It takes a brave soul to really dive this deep. The thing is, we all have it in us. On the deepest level, our soul wants all of this because we're here to heal humanity. We're here to heal ourselves, heal humanity. That is why we are here. And the reason so many people are depressed and stuck is because they're not listening. They're not answering the call. It's time for us all to answer the call. And we can all feel this on a collective level. Which is why there are so many revolutions happening right now. We are recognizing that we are all one. And that the pain inflicted on a brother and sister or sister is the pain inflicted on ourselves. There's no separation. So this is the birthing of the new earth. The recognition that we are all one, we are all love, and that it's going to take all of us doing this work, especially the people who are here specifically to do this work and to raise the consciousness of humanity. This is our time. We are not here to play small. We are not here to doubt our greatness. We are here to claim it, fully claim it. and then hold space for other people to claim theirs. We're here to love. We are love. We are love. And if you ever forget that, I'm here to remind you. Satnam, I love you.